On today's wrestling news, will The Rock be at SummerSlam?
Has a championship match for All In been revealed?
Kota Ibushi explains his blood and guts performance.
And an update on an AEW legend's contract status. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Phil Chambers.
And this is the news.
But first up, can you smell WWE might be cooking for SummerSlam? Now you might have noticed recently, Grayson Waller has been throwing a few shots The Rock's way. He put up a video on social media of him after his match with Edge at the Madison Square Garden thing.
Which was really good, by the way.
Really good. Comparing his incredible debut performance with The Rock's mediocre debut performance.
There's Blue Chipper right there.
Even putting on his costume and saying how crap it looks and stuff like that. The Rock obviously responded to that, saying, hang on, let me get the right thing. He said he looked like he dropped out of some jabroni's balloon knot. There you go. In classic Rock fashion.
Never change.
Well, now Grayson Waller has been interviewed by Ariel Helwani, and he's still calling out The Rock. So he said he's basically in WWE's Legends rehabilitation program right now, which I quite liked. But he goes on to say, I'll just read it out because it's easier that way, that The Rock is out of work right now. He's unemployed, correct? The actors are on strike, so technically he's unemployed and needs some work. Who better to help The Rock than Grayson Waller?
What a guy.
Good guy. Helping down on his luck actor, The Rock.
Come on, I'll look after you.
Yeah, pull him up by his bootstraps. He then puts out basically an open invitation for the Grayson Waller effect at SummerSlam. He says, if he wants to come on the show, I know his daughter is in a cult right now in NXT, and his family's in shambles on the main roster, but he seems to be worried about Grayson Waller. So I think we have to do something about it. There's so many legends in town for SummerSlam. I heard The Undertaker will be in town. I heard whispers about Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'm hearing all these names being thrown around, and for some reason they all want to find me. So if there's a legend in town that wants to talk to Grayson Waller, I'm open to it. So yeah, Grayson Waller calling out The Rock for an appearance at SummerSlam. This would be really entertaining.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, I absolutely love this. We reported yesterday that Grayson Waller was being, well, the plans were to have Waller work with a legend at SummerSlam, but we were sort of speculating who that could be. The Rock obviously was a name under consideration because of the back and forth on Twitter.
Yep.
Now he's just adding more fuel to that fire. Yeah, I think a Grayson Waller effect pre-announced with The Rock, or just at least offered out there, could be really something special. Obviously, like you say, he's done stuff with Edge, and he was awesome at the Money in the Bank with John Cena, and clearly WWE have seen something in him doing this. And having The Rock not only at SummerSlam, but at a SummerSlam when, what was it? Tribal Combat's happening.
that weekend. I think this is a great way of bringing Grayson Waller into things, like just making him spar with some of the absolute best on the microphone of all time.
Good luck.
Is immediately putting him on a pedestal with those kind of guys.
Yeah.
And he's standing toe to toe with them, and he's holding up. It's really, really good.
Yeah, look, like they did the same sort of thing with Austin Theory, who struggled, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
But Waller, I've been a fan of his since this time in NXT. I'm so happy with handling him. And I wouldn't rule this out,
Yeah. I don't think there's any way they let Grayson Waller call out The Rock's name that much if they're not going to do something with him.
Anyway, also happening in August.
Like I said, he's out of work, so he needs something. Poor guy.
What would you like to see happen with The Rock at SummerSlam? Let us know in the comments section below. And do you think it's going to happen? Give us like a rating out of 100. I'm going to go 5. But that's because I can't get my hopes up. I'm
going to go 95.
Yeah! Anyway, let's talk about All In. No matches announced for it yet. He does realise it's a month away, doesn't he? Anyway, but one match has been teased / already sort of revealed, courtesy of Athena. She was speaking with WrestlingNews.co, and she has challenged an AEW champion to a champions match at All In, which goes down on August 27th, of course. Athena said, that's a match that I've wanted for a while. Kris Statlander is the person she is talking about. Sorry, I forgot to mention that bit. Even watching from home before I got signed to AEW / Ring of Honor, Statlander is that woman. She's more than a woman. Someone that was my sister from another mister when I first got here. I love Kris Statlander. And I'd love to break her face and steal a TBS championship. You and I are in agreement. Athena's doing wonderful things in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
She's done that great match with Willow Nightingale, of course. But yeah, she has laid down the gauntlet for Kris Statlander. Love that match at All In.
Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't seen any of Athena's stuff down in Ring of Honor, she is the best thing about that show. Like, you can go back and watch any of the ups and downs that we did for Ring of Honor. Cheap plug, I mean, they're all still there. And it's genuinely the best thing on every single show. And it's like glowing reports, just like nailing it promo-wise. The matches are absolutely fantastic. She has a fire in her right now that we've not seen. And it's about time they put her on main roster AEW as far as I'm concerned. This is a really good match, and I hope this leads to more Athena on AEW TV after this as well. Because
who knows, more than one women's match on an AEW show. Just
who knows?
Just a thought,
Just a thought. Just to sprinkle in there, maybe.
And here's a thought for you. If you haven't done so already, if you like these sorts of videos, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell.
Look at you.
Hey!
Look at you. But speaking of AEW, you may have wondered about Kota Ibushi's performance at Blood and Guts.
Yeah, what the hell was that, Phil
Well,
Chambers?
Kota Ibushi has an explanation about why he was moving like an old man. His words, not mine.
Yeah.
Just to say that out there.
Could you imagine running to Kota Ibushi and he's like, Phil, I know what you've been saying about me.
So basically, it was his first, one of only 3 matches he's had since 2021.
Yeah.
So he's been out for a long time with a shoulder injury, 18 months I think he was out, and then he had a couple of matches for GCW over WrestleMania weekend, and then he was back for this. But he has tweeted about his performance and what's went on, and I will just read it out. Basically, he says, I'm home. It's my fault that I didn't know thumbtacks and glass after all this time. I have thin wrestling shoes, so it penetrated and it was just painful from the middle, and I ended up moving like an old man. I'm sorry. Far from being unable to kick, both ankles were stiff. Life with a cane for the first time in my life? No! I'll be cured tomorrow. That is Kota Ibushi. So yeah, basically he has thin wrestling shoes and all of the thumbtacks went straight into them, and he was walking around on thumbtacks for the whole thing.
I'm going to start making statements at the end of my tweets and then saying, no!
No!
I will be the best!
That is Adam Wilborn!
I mean, it does make sense, because he was kind of moving around like,
needles or whatever.
You're stepping around on Lego or whatever.
Yeah. But this isn't going to be the last of Kota Ibushi in AEW as well. Dave Meltzer is reporting that Ibushi is under the impression that he's going to be at All Out, at least. So there could be something special happening there. I don't know what it might be, but I am very excited for it, because we're going to be there as well. So there's still good things to come from Ibushi in AEW, hopefully.
Yeah, it was weird. Well, I think it's fair to say, watching Blood and Guts, it was a bit like... It was something something was off, it felt like. And maybe that's the reason for it, because like you say, he came down to the ring and you were like, what have you done with Kota Ibushi? Like, he still was kicking ass, obviously. It just, yeah, exactly. He felt like, when he broke up all the submissions, felt a bit like, come on, lay it in a bit more.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, if he's got, I mean, I've never stood on one thumbtack, let alone however many that you did, and then he openly decided to just bump into them after the match. Yeah. But I can only imagine, like I'm bad when if the sand's hot on the beach. So, yeah. I hope we get to see him in a wrestling ring soon, because like you say, I don't want that to be my memory of him in AEW. And fair play, 3rd match in, 2 years, whatever it is.
Yeah, he's been out for a long time with a bad injury.
Anyway, continuing with the All Elite things, Dustin Rhodes, what's going on with his contract there? There seems to be a lot of speculation as to when he's going to be leaving. In fact, actually, in December of last year, he told Busted Open that his deal expires at the end of July 2023, which is, bloody hell, that's like 4 days away or whatever it is. But Fightful Select to come through with a new report that actually says, don't worry, Dustin Rhodes is going to be All Elite for at least another year. They said that sources have told the outlet that Rhodes' deal is up in September of 2024, of course being with the company since 2019. No word about any extensions or anything like that, so I don't know whether they've just signed another extension past July 2023 for this, or they've said we want to add some time on, or whatever it may be. But yeah, September 2024, so basically he's not going to get involved in Cody and Brock at SummerSlam this year.
Yeah, that's the big takeaway from this. I think that's a good move from AEW though. Always gets like glowing reports about his work backstage, like helping the younger generation and things like that. But like, and he also, anytime they want him to deliver in the ring, they just put him out there and he absolutely still delivers in the ring
wide
every
open.
single time. It's kind of ludicrous. So yeah, I think this is a really good move from AEW to lock him down for a little bit longer. But there's like, he would be picked up wherever he goes basically. After this.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point.
Yeah, he's a real use for AEW in such a multitude of ways, like you say. And I think it's going to be a long time before his match with Cody gets knocked out of my top 10 AEW matches ever. We were lucky enough to be there, and literally bloody hell.
Yeah, the reaction of seeing that is like, is that blood? It's like, oh yes, that is blood.
I don't know if I verbalised this, but I remember looking and thinking, that's a lot of face paint coming off Dustin, isn't it?
Wait a
second. That's pooling in the ring, and that's a lot darker than what he started. So good, but yeah, hopefully, they still do stuff with him in the ring in AEW, but long term, I still think he's going to be part of the Codyverse in WWE.
Yeah, I imagine so.
AEW no doubt will try and keep him. Makes sense, but it's happening. Talking about Brandy yesterday, talking about Dustin today.
Cody's gonna Cody.
Pharaoh on Saturday with Phil and Gary. Oh, it's not Saturday tomorrow. It's Friday. I've got tomorrow off. My weekend's already started, baby.
Day off and you are thrown.
Right, anyway, let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE, of course. And we also take them from our YouTube community page, which is another reason to subscribe. First question today comes from Senor Magico, who says, what do you think about Dirty Dom starting to use "excuse me" to start his interviews? As if he needed any more heat.
I love everything Dirty Dom does, is basically my answer to this.
Big draw in NXT again.
Big draw in NXT. The crowd reactions are still the best thing about WWE right now. Everything about the Judgment Day storyline on Raw, I am loving.
Nailing it.
They are doing really, really good stuff. So yeah, big fan. More of this sort of thing.
The first person to ever have the main event match, because technically there's a bloodline thing on Friday. Raw, NXT and SmackDown. What an achievement.
Undeniable.
Excuse me could be really, oh my god. Next question today, see if you can spot why I picked this question, Phil.
Hello.
Comes from Farty Fart. And he's away for one day. Could just be the worst question ever, this. And
it doesn't really matter.
But it is good, thank you, Mr. Actually, sorry.
Might be Mrs.
It's Farty, but the @ is farty.
Of course, yeah. Good.
No notes.
Good stuff.
Does MJF turn on Adam Cole only to be backed up by FTR as they reform the Pinnacle? Or does Punk reunite his own version of the Pinnacle with FTR, Sean Spears, Wardlow and Arn Anderson? That's a hell of an either or, that, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, that is a hell of an either or. I don't see them going back to the Pinnacle MJF style. Didn't really work last time. And I don't think it's got like the nostalgia value of bringing it back around.
Yay!
Yay, the Pinnacle's back. So I'm going to go with the other one.
Yeah.
If it's an either or, and those are the only two things that can happen in
Punk's,
this world.
I love group leader Punk. Obviously, Straight Edge Society is something I miss to this day, what they could have done with that storyline. But yeah, Punk's Pinnacle with FTR, Sean Spears, Wardlow and Arn Anderson would be a bloody wild ride. A real interesting
I'd be up
one.
for watching the promos, whatever they were.
Hell yeah. Final question today comes from Lord Timothy the Goat King.
Are you just picking questions based on names?
Another good question, but your names, you will get noticed, especially you, farty over here. Anyway, Lord Timothy the Goat King writes, Morning Legends, who do you guys think WWE messed up losing most besides the main event guys that they had? I think it's Swerve. He's awesome in AEW. Athena a close second. Yeah, shout out to both of them.
Good shout. Swerve is incredible. And they did nothing with him. I don't understand the Swerve release at all.
You saw all his potential in NXT. He won titles.
Yeah.
And then they were like, right, we're moving up to the main roster. They were like, hit row. And I was like, what? No, but I wouldn't have minded it if it had been like a platform for him to go on and win more stuff.
Yeah.
And then they just rapped a bit.
Yeah.
And then he left. Swerve's a big one.
Swerve is a big one. Swerve's a great shout. My mind went to Moxley.
Moxley's an obvious one, isn't he?
He did do some main event stuff. He was a champion.
World champion.
But they didn't exactly capitalise on what John Moxley is.
No, I think
at WWE. It was almost like a token thing for him to get the belt at one point.
They never considered him, I'd say, a WrestleMania main eventer if it wasn't for the Shield triple threat.
They never put any faith in him at the top of the card, and if they had and run with it, I mean, he's proven what he can do in AEW, and I think that would have been incredible as a WWE thing.
Again, my mind also goes to I'm cheating because you've picked the best one. You picked Swerve and Athena, and they're the best.
Yeah.
My mind goes to, and she was only briefly in world title picture on the main roster, Toni Storm. Like, what were they thinking?
Yep, they did some weird stuff with Toni Storm on the main roster.
Toni Storm had gone up to the main roster a year later than she actually did. Maybe she doesn't leave.
Yeah, probably.
Because she wasn't doing cream pie stuff.
With Charlotte, whatever that was. Ooh, it wasn't good.
No, it was not good whatsoever. But let us know your thoughts on that one and everything we've discussed in the comments. And check out this video. We'll see you later.